The quantum arrays aboard the UNSS Hyperion detected the anomaly at 300 Earth Standard Time. Captain Sarah Chen stood motionless before the bridge's holographic display, her dark eyes fixed on the rapidly expanding signature that had appeared just beyond Neptune's orbit. After 15 years of commanding Earth's most advanced deep space vessel, she knew this wasn't a natural phenomenon. "Analysis," she ordered, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. Dr. James Morrison, the ship's chief scientist, manipulated the sensor controls with practiced precision. "It's artificial, Captain. The energy signature suggests a controlled tear in space-time. Someone's coming through, and they're using technology we've only theorized about." The bridge crew worked in focused silence as the tear expanded. Humanity had prepared for this moment for decades, ever since the discovery of the quantum frequency that suggested intelligent life existed beyond their solar system. But preparation and reality were very different things. Multiple contacts emerging, Lieutenant Rodriguez announced from Tactical. Counting, 73 distinct vessels. Configuration unknown, but their mass readings suggest capital ships. Chen activated the quantum entanglement communicator, establishing an instant link to Earth Defense Command. "This is Hyperion. First Contact Protocol Alpha is now in effect. Please advise." The response came immediately. "Maintain position, but do not reveal our full capabilities. Remember, Hyperion's public specifications list her as a research vessel. Let's see their intentions before we show our hand." The alien fleet emerged fully from the spatial tear, their ships unlike anything human eyes had ever seen. They seemed to be composed of living crystal, each vessel pulsing with internal light that shifted through colors beyond human perception. The largest ship, easily 5 times the size of Hyperion, moved to the center of their formation. "They're broadcasting," Rodriguez reported. "All frequencies, multiple formats. Translation matrix is processing." The bridge's holoscreen flickered to life, revealing a being that challenged human understanding of biology. Its form was vaguely humanoid, but composed of interlocking crystalline structures that shifted and flowed like liquid glass. When it spoke, its words were transmitted directly into their minds. "People of Earth, we are the Meridian Concordat. Your species has been observed since you first achieved spaceflight. We have monitored your development, your wars, your stumbling attempts to reach beyond your cradle. We come now because you have reached a crucial junction in your evolution." Captain Chen felt a chill run down her spine. There was something in that voice, a note of superiority, of dismissal, that set off every warning bell in her mind. "We offer you a choice," the alien continued. "Submit to Meridian guidance, surrender your resources and autonomy to our superior civilization, and we will elevate you. Resist, and we will be forced to take what we need by force. Your primitive defenses cannot hope to." Chen cut the transmission with a gesture. "Send to Earth Command. Request activation of Protocol Omega. They're not here for peaceful contact." As if to confirm her assessment, the alien fleet began to move, spreading out in an attack formation that would have been devastating against a civilization with the level of technology Earth publicly displayed. But humanity had not survived countless near-extinction events by being unprepared. "They're charging weapons," Rodriguez reported. "Energy signatures suggest some form of quantum disruption technology." "Let them fire first," Chen ordered, even as hidden systems throughout the Hyperion hummed to life. "Let them commit to their mistake." The first alien shot streaked across space, a beam of pure quantum energy that should have torn through Hyperion's primitive shields like paper. Instead, it splashed harmlessly against a defense grid that had been specifically designed to counter such weapons. "Now," Chen commanded, a fierce smile crossing her face, "show them why you don't threaten a species that evolved as prey, but learned to become the ultimate predator." Hyperion's outer hull shifted, quantum-engineered nanomaterials revealing their true nature. Weapon ports appeared where none had existed before. The research vessel transformed into what it truly was, humanity's first dedicated warship, designed and built in secret over decades. This is Captain Sarah Chen of the United Nations spaceship Hyperion. She broadcasts to the alien fleet. You come to our home, threaten our people, and assume we are primitive because we choose to appear so. That was your first and last mistake. The Hyperion's first shot, a concentrated burst of quantum-entangled particles specifically tuned to disrupt crystalline structures, reduced the nearest alien vessel to atoms. As the rest of the Meridian fleet reacted in shock, quantum alerts began streaming in from across the solar system. Hidden defense platforms, automated drone swarms, and other ships like Hyperion emerged from their camouflage. Humanity had spent generations preparing for this moment, building weapons and defenses in secret, always suspecting that first contact might not be peaceful. Now, as the battle began in earnest, they would show these would-be conquerors exactly how primitive they weren't. The war for Earth's future had begun, and humanity had no intention of playing the role of victim in someone else's invasion story. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility known only to a handful of people, General Maya Patel watched the battle unfold through quantum-linked displays. The Shadow Protocol, humanity's contingency plan for hostile alien contact, was now fully operational. Decades of preparation were about to be put to the ultimate test. Status of the orbital defense grid, she demanded, her voice echoing through the command center. Dr. Marcus Reed, chief architect of the quantum shield system, manipulated the holographic controls with practiced efficiency. All nodes are online and synchronized, General. The quantum lattice is stabilizing across the entire planet. If they try to bypass our outer defenses, they're in for a nasty surprise. The quantum shield wasn't just a barrier. It was an artificial layer of space-time itself, carefully engineered to respond to specific threats. The Meridian's crystalline ships might be advanced, but they still had to obey the fundamental laws of physics, laws that humanity had learned to bend. Multiple spatial tiers detected, announced Lieutenant Sarah Wong from her station. They're calling in reinforcements, reading over 200 additional vessels emerging. Maya allowed herself a grim smile. They still think they're fighting a primitive species. Activate the Lazarus Array. Throughout the solar system, seemingly dead satellites and space debris suddenly came to life. What the Meridians had dismissed as the scattered remnants of humanity's early space age revealed themselves as components of a vast weapon system. Each piece contained quantum-entangled particles that had been carefully positioned over decades. Lazarus Array online, Marcus confirmed. Target acquisition in progress. The Meridian's crystalline structure makes them particularly vulnerable to synchronized quantum disruption. On the main display, the battle around Hyperion continued to rage. Captain Chen's ship had already destroyed 3 more Meridian vessels, its advanced weapons proving devastatingly effective against their crystalline hulls. But the aliens were adapting, their ships beginning to pulse with new defensive patterns. They're learning, Maya observed. Good. Show me the analysis of their adaptation patterns. The AI system they called ARIA, Advanced Response Intelligence Array, presented its findings in a cascade of holographic data. Their technology appears to operate on principles of collective resonance, the AI explained. Each ship is part of a larger network, sharing information and adapting as a single organism. Fascinating approach, but it has a critical weakness. They're vulnerable to cascading failure, Marcus finished, his eyes lighting up with understanding. If we can disrupt their network at a fundamental level, we can turn their greatest strength into a catastrophic weakness, Maya concluded. ARIA, begin calculating optimal disruption frequencies. Dr. Reed, prepare the Lazarus Array for a synchronized strike. The battle above Earth had now drawn in most of the Meridian fleet. Their crystalline ships filled near-Earth orbit, their formation designed to overwhelm what they believed to be humanity's limited defenses. They had no way of knowing they were being drawn into a carefully prepared trap. General, Sarah's voice carried an edge of urgency. They're charging something big. Energy readings are off the charts. Looks like they're preparing for a mass attack on our major population centers. Maya's expression hardened. She had hoped to avoid using their most devastating weapons, but the Meridians had just crossed a line. Initiate Shadow Protocol Phase 2. Authorization Code. Prometheus Rising. Throughout the solar system, hidden quantum reactors powered up. The Lazarus Array began to pulse with energy that defied conventional physics, and deep beneath the Pacific, Aria's quantum processors calculated the exact frequency needed to shatter the Meridian's network. Remember, Maya addressed her command staff. We're not just fighting for survival. We're fighting to show the galaxy that humanity isn't some primitive species to be conquered or uplifted. We've spent generations preparing for this moment, building weapons we hoped we'd never have to use. Now we'll show them why you don't threaten a species that turned paranoia into an art form. The Meridian fleet began their attack run, their ships moving in perfect synchronization, each one amplifying the other's power. They had encountered thousands of emerging civilizations before, and none had ever survived this level of assault. But humanity had spent its entire existence overcoming impossible odds. They had survived ice ages, asteroids, plagues, and their own destructive tendencies. Each challenge had made them stronger, smarter, more innovative, and most importantly, it had taught them to never reveal their full capabilities until the perfect moment. As the Meridian weapons charged for their devastating attack, Maya gave the order that would change the course of the battle. Execute Lazarus Protocol. Let's show them what happens when you corner a species that turns survival into a science. The Lazarus Array activated, and the true extent of humanity's preparation began to unfold. The war was about to enter a new phase, and the Meridians were about to learn why humanity's apparent technological backwardness had been the greatest deception in galactic history. Admiral Victor Zhao stood in the control center of Titan Base, watching as streams of quantum data flowed through the holographic displays surrounding him. The secret facility, buried deep within Saturn's largest moon, represented humanity's most advanced weapons research center. Now, as the Meridian fleet reeled from the first wave of human counterattacks, it was time to unveil their masterpiece. Project Starcrusher is ready for deployment. Dr. Elena said. The effect on the Meridian ships was devastating. Their crystalline hulls, designed to resist almost any form of energy weapon, offered no protection against the fundamental forces of reality being twisted around them. Ships began to break apart, their complex network disrupted by forces they had never encountered before. By the void, the Meridian commander's telepathic broadcast carried a note of genuine fear. What are you? How can primitives possess such weapons? Victor's response was transmitted across all frequencies. We are humanity. We spent our entire history preparing for threats we hadn't even met yet. You assumed our public technology represented our true capabilities. That was your mistake. The Starcrusher drones continued their relentless attack, their patterns becoming more complex as ARIA analyzed the Meridian's responses and evolved new strategies in real time. Each drone swarm operated as a single organism, yet could split apart and recombine in countless variations, making them almost impossible to counter. Admiral, Elena called out, they're attempting to open multiple spatial tiers. I think they're trying to retreat. ARIA. Analysis of tier signatures. Negative, Admiral, the AI responded. Energy patterns suggest they are attempting to bring in reinforcements, detecting quantum signatures consistent with major fleet movements. Estimate arrival of approximately 500 additional vessels within the next hour. Victor nodded grimly. He had expected this. The Meridians wouldn't give up easily. Their entire civilization was built on the principle of technological superiority. To be defeated by a primitive species was unthinkable. Begin Phase 2 of Operation Starcrusher, he ordered. Deploy the quantum mines and activate the fold space inhibitors. If they want to bring more ships into this fight, let's make sure they arrive exactly where we want them. As the orders went out, Victor reflected on the irony of the situation. The Meridians had come to Earth expecting to find an easy conquest, a primitive species they could subjugate or destroy at will. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant, a civilization that had turned paranoia and preparation into an art form. The next phase of the battle was about to begin, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy why you should never mistake preparation for weakness. The Meridians were about to learn that sometimes the most dangerous predator is the one that appears to be prey. Commander Yuki Tanaka stood on the bridge of the UNSS Nemesis, Earth's newest warship, as it emerged from Quantum Fold near the Meridian homeworld. The massive crystalline planet glowed with an inner light that would have been beautiful under different circumstances. Now, it represented humanity's greatest challenge, and potentially their greatest moral test. "All ships report ready," Captain Michael O'Connor announced from his tactical station. "The Starcrusher swarms are in position, and ARIA has mapped the planetary defense grid." The combined human fleet had followed the retreating Meridian forces through their own spatial tiers, using captured technology to track them back to their home system. It was a bold move, perhaps even a reckless one, but humanity had learned that sometimes the best defense was an overwhelming offense. "Show me the planetary analysis," Yuki ordered, her voice steady despite the weight of what they were about to do. The holographic display expanded, showing the complex network of crystalline structures that covered the Meridian homeworld. Their entire civilization was interconnected, each building and vessel part of a vast quantum network that shared information and energy across light years. Their population centers are completely integrated with their military installations, Dr. Santos reported via quantum link from Titan Base. The crystalline architecture doesn't distinguish between civilian and military structures. They're all part of the same network. Yuki felt the weight of command settle more heavily on her shoulders. The Starcrusher swarms could devastate this world, but at what cost? "ARIA, can you identify purely military targets?" The A's response was troubling. "Negative, Commander. The Meridian civilization operates as a single integrated system. Their quantum network links all aspects of their society. Attempting to target military installations would inevitably cause cascading failures throughout their civilian infrastructure." "They're launching ships," O'Connor reported, "multiple spatial tiers opening. They're mobilizing everything they have." The space around the crystalline world came alive with ships, each one pulsing with energy as they formed into combat formations. The Meridians had learned from their earlier defeats. Their tactics were more sophisticated now, their formations designed to counter the Starcrusher swarms. "Incoming transmission," the communications officer announced. Text only, translated from their quantum pulses. Yuki read the message and felt her blood run cold. The Meridians weren't offering surrender. They were threatening to release a quantum cascade that would tear apart the fabric of space-time throughout human-controlled space. They would rather destroy both civilizations than admit defeat. "They're bluffing," O'Connor argued. "They can't possibly have that kind of technology." "Can we take that chance?" Yuki asked quietly. "ARIA. Analysis. The Meridian quantum network possesses sufficient energy to initiate a cascading failure in local spacetime," the AI confirmed. "However, I have detected a vulnerability in their network architecture. Their entire civilization is built on the principle of interconnection, every system linked to every other system. This makes them incredibly efficient, but also vulnerable to systemic collapse." Yuki understood the implications. They could end this war with a single strike, but the cost would be an entire civilization. The Meridians had brought this upon themselves with their attempt to subjugate Earth, but did that justify such a devastating response? "Dr. Santos," she called over the quantum link, "is there another way? Something between total destruction and allowing them to carry out their threat?" Belina's voice came back thoughtful. "The Starcrusher swarms were designed to be precise. With ARIA's help, we might be able to create a targeted quantum disruption, something that would disable their military capability while preserving their basic infrastructure." It would be like performing surgery with a blade of pure mathematics. The risk would be significant, Araya added. Any mistake in the calculations could trigger the very cascade we're trying to prevent. Additionally, even a successful operation would fundamentally change their civilization. They would lose their quantum network, effectively reducing them to a pre-spaceflight society. Yuki watched as more Meridian ships emerged from spatial tiers, their crystalline forms glowing with deadly purpose. They had started this war, threatened humanity with extinction, and now were willing to destroy everything rather than accept defeat. But the decision she faced wasn't just about victory. It was about what kind of civilization humanity would be after this war. "Begin the operation," she ordered finally. "But we do this surgically. Humanity won its freedom through preparation and innovation, not genocide. Let's show them there's a difference between having power and using it wisely." As the Starcrusher swarms began their precise dance through spacetime, Yuki hoped they were making the right choice. The war would end today, one way or another. The question was whether humanity could win without losing its soul in the process. The quantum disruption began with a whisper rather than a roar. Commander Tanaka watched as the Starcrusher swarms executed their precisely choreographed dance, their patterns weaving through the fabric of reality itself. Each drone moved with microscopic precision, guided by Araya's quantum calculations as they began the delicate process of dismantling the Meridian defense network. "First phase successful," Captain O'Connor reported, his eyes fixed on the tactical display. "Their outer defense grid is starting to destabilize. No signs of cascade failure." The Meridian ships responded with desperate fury, their crystalline forms blazing with energy as they launched everything they had at the human fleet. But their attacks were unfocused now, their once perfect coordination beginning to break down as the Starcrusher swarms disrupted their quantum network. "They're trying to activate their doomsday protocol," Dr. Santos announced over the quantum link, her voice tense. "The energy buildup in their planetary network is approaching critical levels." "Araya, status of the precision strike," Yuki demanded, watching as space itself seemed to ripple around the crystalline world. "Operating within acceptable parameters," the AI responded. However, the Meridian's attempted activation of their quantum cascade weapon has introduced new variables, adjusting calculations in real time. The space around them erupted in a dazzling display of quantum energies as the Starcrusher swarms engaged in a battle that existed on multiple levels of reality simultaneously. They weren't just fighting the Meridian's weapons, they were engaged in a mathematical duel for control of spacetime itself. "Commander," O'Connor's voice carried an edge of awe. "You need to see this." The main display shifted, showing the surface of the Meridian homeworld. The crystalline structures that had seemed so alien and threatening were changing. As the Starcrusher swarms executed their precise attack, the vast network was being transformed rather than destroyed. The harsh, angular formations softened, the aggressive pulses of energy giving way to a gentler rhythm. "What are we seeing?" Yuki asked, fascinated despite the tension of the moment. "The quantum network isn't just their weapon system," Dr. Santos explained, her voice filled with sudden understanding. "It's their consciousness. Their entire civilization exists as patterns within that crystalline matrix. We're not just disarming them, we're helping them evolve." The Meridian ships began to power down, their attack formations dissolving as the change swept through their network. A new transmission appeared, this one different from their previous communications. Instead of the arrogant, dismissive tone they had used before, this message carried something new: understanding. "We see now," the message read. "We believed technological advancement meant domination. You have shown us there is another way. The ability to destroy is not the measure of civilization. The choice not to destroy is." Yuki felt a weight lift from her shoulders as she realized what they had accomplished. "Araya, final status report. The Meridian Quantum Network has been successfully reconfigured," the AI confirmed. "Their military capabilities have been neutralized, but their basic infrastructure and civilian systems remain intact. They retain their technological advancement, but can no longer use it as a weapon of mass destruction. Throughout the solar system, the news spread quickly. Humanity had not just won a war. They had done something far more remarkable. They had faced a technologically superior enemy and prevailed not through brute force, but through a combination of preparation, innovation, and moral courage. "Send to Earth Command," Yuki ordered. "Operation Starcrusher complete. The Meridian threat has been neutralized. Requesting instructions for diplomatic contact." As she spoke those words, she looked out at the transformed Meridian world. Its crystalline surface still glowed, but the light was different now, less harsh, more alive. They had done more than win a war. They had proven that humanity's greatest strength wasn't its weapons or technology, but its ability to find a better way. "The Meridians are requesting open communication," O'Connor reported. "They want to learn from us. Not our technology, but our perspective. They say we've shown them something they never understood before." Yuki smiled. "Tell them we're willing to talk. After all, that's another thing humanity has learned over its long history. Sometimes the greatest victories come not from destroying your enemies, but from turning them into friends." As the human fleet maintained its position around the transformed Meridian homeworld, the first steps of a new chapter in galactic history began to unfold. The war was over, but its legacy would echo through the cosmos for generations to come. Humanity had proven itself not just as a species capable of defending itself, but as one worthy of joining the galactic community, not through submission or conquest, but through the wisdom to know when to show mercy. The stars watched in silence as two civilizations began the delicate process of building something new from the ashes of conflict. The universe, it seemed, had room for more than one path to advancement, and humanity, with its unique blend of preparation, innovation, and compassion, had shown that sometimes the most powerful weapon of all is the choice not to use the weapons you have.